Good morning. My name is Rupert Miller and I want to introduce you today to a very exciting new company called Rohhe, who manufacture insulation here in Poland. Now, as you can see, I've got three pipe sections here and two of them are made by well-known brands from all over the world, and this one here is made by Rohhe here in Poland. They don't currently feature on the UK market or the Irish market, and they all look pretty similar. The biggest problem with these types of aluminium clad pipe sections is that the tape here comes unstuck. Now, the builders or the installers blame the manufacturers and say that the glue on the tape here just isn't good enough. And the manufacturers blame the builders by saying that they don't actually clean and dry the surface here well enough. So there's a fight, there's a stalemate between the manufacturers and the installers of the pipe sections. But this problem just doesn't go away. There are, however, on close inspection, other issues that cause this to happen. Now, I'd like to take this pipe section here to start with, from a well-known brand, and go through a few of the points. If you'll notice that their wool here is formatted in a circular fashion. Now, when they actually make this piece of pipe section, what they do is they create a hole in the centre here that's perfectly round. The problem being is that when you then make the slit down the middle, you create a gap. So when you close this, the perfect circle becomes an oval. And what that does, if you put your pipe section inside your insulation, is it creates a gap here. Now, I can further demonstrate that by measuring that. So I take my tape measure here, and if I close this piece of pipe section, from top to bottom, it'll measure at 54 millimeters, and from side to side, it's actually increased to 56, 57. So that means there's a gap either side of the pipe, which makes it less efficient when it comes to insulation. The other problem is that because the format is circular, when you make that slit down the middle here, the pipe section wants to spring open a bit like a flower, like this. So there's always a bit of pressure here, forcing this apart. So when you then try and tape this over like that, there's more pressure on the tab here. So this flap is put under pressure so that this comes off quite easily. In addition, with this particular manufactured piece, the actual tape here, where it contains the glue underneath, is only 2 centimeters wide. All right, so that's the reason why. So there's a bit of a spring here, causes that to open. We look at this other pipe section here from another well-known brand. As you can see, the problem is exactly the same. You've got an oval shape when it's closed. On this one here, the spring's a little bit more pronounced, and it's actually quite difficult to close that. I'm having to put quite a lot of pressure on there to close it. But the difference being is that what this company have done is they've made that particular tape 3 centimeters rather than 2 centimeters. So there's a bit of an advantage there when it closes. But as you can see, if I close that like that, I let go, it just springs open. Now, what that's going to do is that it's going to expose your pipe down the centre and cause you massive problems. If your pipe starts to freeze, you get burst pipes everywhere, and it'll cost you a lot of money. So those two are well-known brands. That brings me now down to Rohhe. Now, Rohhe, as I said earlier in the piece, was a new company. Well, they are in comparison to these two companies. Rohhe started in 2016. But the guy who started it, Mikhail Kalinowski, and his team of experts have been in the insulation business for many, many years. And they decided that they could actually make this product, but improve it, make it better than anyone else's around on the market today. And that is what they've done. And I'll show you how. What Mikhail and his team did is they worked out very carefully of how they could make this product better. It's a very simple product, but just by improving it, what you can do is you can really generate a lot of long-term energy saving. Instead of having a round circular format on the fibres, and all these fibres, they're all the same, all the raw materials used are exactly the same, foil's the same, fibres are the same. Instead of doing a circular round movement here and here, what they did is they made the fibres lie in a longitudinal manner all the way down. That means that when they make the slit here, it doesn't want to spring open like a flower. Okay, as you can see, if I just put my fingers on there, it's a tiny touch and there's no pressure here at all. Furthermore, unlike these two who started off with a round hole and a round hole here, which then became an oval, what Rohhe did is they reversed the process. They cut an oval hole, so when it was closed up, it became round. That means that the pipe itself is evenly insulated all the way around perfectly. And that's what Rohhe have done. In addition, they've also added the 3 centimetre tape around the top, so that will stick better. Even if your installers don't clean this or dry this correctly, the Rohhe product will more than likely stay stuck for longer. So ensuring that your insulation product does its job better than these two. In my mind's eye, as a product, there's absolutely, it's a no-brainer. You should get this one. It really, it's simple, it's straightforward, and it's not rocket science, it's just clever physics and common sense. Now, Rohhe, as I can see here, or as you can see here, they're a detail company. And they do detail in everything that they do. And they think about their customers all the time and how much time they can save them. So let's just take the packaging. Cardboard box, reinforced cardboard, very handy handles for lifting. If you swivel it round, you'll see that there's a nice template for use when you want to cut corners and angles. And then there's a measuring line here. In addition, what Rohhe also do is they create a nice perforated flap system here, so you can just cut that out, lift the top, and then you've got easy access to your produce. And that can either be left standing here or it can be put on a shelf in a horizontal position. And again, fantastic, clear labelling. You know, other companies do this as well, but I've not seen one that yet does a nice handy flap like this. Again, it's all down to the detail. Okay, when Rohhe have their raw materials delivered, they have them delivered on pallets like this one, but they're actually too big. So what Rohhe do, rather than waste the pallet, is they actually recycle them in the factory themselves. So then they create these new pallets that are designed for their shipments. It's just another little detail thing. While we're on the subject of detail, I'd like you to take a note of their logo. The logo, I think, is great. And when they've actually put all the boxes all up together, again, this logo appears in the corner of each box, creating the whole logo there. This doesn't actually improve the product at all, but it just shows you what a professional company Rohhe are with their attention to detail. And as we all know, the devil is in the detail. Very, very important factor. One final point, all the waste products that they create from cutting all their pipe sections out, they actually turn into this most amazing insulation, which they then blow into difficult parts of a loft, which you can't get to. So that's another waste-saving exercise that are done by Rohhe. I think I've clearly demonstrated how good and how much better the Rohhe product is to the competition. I showed you just two of the major competitors, but all other insulation products that I've researched don't do anything like Rohhe do. It's their attention to detail that really impresses me. I've been to their factory and it's just really well laid out. Everything they do is very professional, and I cannot recommend their product enough. That said, I've also been appointed as their official representative for their products in the UK going forward, and also in Ireland. What Rohhe will also do for you is they will be very happy to send you some samples so you can have a look for yourself. And also, I would strongly recommend, like I did, you go and visit the factory. The Rohhe factory is 20 miles south of Warsaw, and if you've never been to Warsaw before, here's an ideal opportunity to take in the sights of the very, very pretty historic old market town in Warsaw, and at the same time stock up with some Rohhe insulation. Okay, so far so good on the Rohhe journey. Now you may well be thinking that because of all the improvements that Rohhe have made on this product, that it's going to be far more expensive than you are currently paying your existing suppliers. Well, even if you take into consideration the cost of delivery of this product to your front door in the UK or Ireland, I think you're going to be very surprised at the saving you will actually make, which you can then pass on to your customers, making them extremely happy indeed. There are a few fact sheets here that also go to explain that there are other advantages that Rohhe have come up with on the improvements of their products. For example, this product here, instead of having a maximum service temperature of 250 degrees, as everyone else does, they've increased it to 300. So, all in all, better priced product, what's not to like? If you are interested in coming to see us in Warsaw, as I've already mentioned, then please contact me directly on the details you'll find below of this video. Furthermore, all the details are on these fact sheets, and you can call me directly, email me, and I very much look forward to hearing from you in due course. Thank you. Bye-bye.